Remember the theme music. The Art Deco elegance. Since 1989, the stars of Poirot have lived entire lifetimes away from the cameras. Today, we revisit the iconic cast to see how the years have treated our beloved ensemble. It's a bittersweet walk down memory lane filled with shocking reveals and nostalgic surprises. See the faces you loved once more and discover the tragic truth about where they are now. David Suchet as Hercule Poirot. Born on May 2, 1946 in Paddington, London, David Suchet brought Agatha Christie's famous Belgian detective to life in the hit television series Poirot, which premiered in 1989. At the age of 42, Suchet began a definitive performance that would span a quarter of a century. His portrayal became a monumental critical and cultural success, perfectly capturing the detective's brilliant mind, precise mannerisms, and fastidious nature. For 13 seasons, Suchet's Poirot became a global television phenomenon, widely regarded by critics and Christie's own family as the most authentic adaptation of the beloved character in television history. Despite the seamless on-screen fit, David Suchet's warm, approachable, and deeply spiritual real-life personality stood in sharp contrast to Poirot's often aloof, highly egoistic, and obsessively particular demeanor. Taking on such an iconic character was not without its professional hardships. Early in the series' run, Suchet famously clashed with directors and producers fighting fiercely to maintain Poirot's eccentricities, exactly as Christie had written them, and even threatening to quit over disagreements regarding the character's behavior. As the decades passed, he also faced the heavy burden of typecasting. The role became so universally recognized that he actively sought out radically different, often darker stage roles to avoid being entirely consumed by the detective. Furthermore, the immense span of the series brought constant anxiety over whether network executives would actually greenlight the remaining episodes, leaving him in a prolonged state of professional uncertainty before he could finally complete the entire Christie canon in 2013. At 79, David Suchet enjoys an esteemed status as one of Britain's most respected veteran actors. He has been married to his wife, Sheila Ferris, since 1976, with whom he shares 2 children. Long after hanging up Poirot's mustache, Suchet has remained highly active in the arts, particularly in the theater, and was formally knighted as Sir David Suchet in 2020 for his services to drama and charity. He has frequently toured with his retrospective stage show, Poirot and More, allowing fans around the world to celebrate his enduring legacy. Hugh Fraser as Captain Hastings. Born on October 23, 1945 in Westminster, London, and raised in the Midlands, the English actor first brought Captain Arthur Hastings to life when Agatha Christie's Poirot premiered in early 1989. At the age of 43, Fraser's portrayal of the fiercely loyal, affable, and somewhat naive sidekick became a beloved staple of British television. Serving as the ultimate everyman foil to David Suchet's fastidious Belgian detective Fraser, perfectly captured the character's vacuous yet endearing charm. For decades, his presence on the series offered a comforting, quintessentially English perspective that highlighted Poirot's brilliance by contrast, cementing the duo as one of the mystery genre's most iconic on-screen pairings. Despite the character's famously dim-witted and impressionable nature, Hugh Fraser is a highly intellectual theater director, a Shakespearean specialist, and a talented musician who famously co-wrote the theme song for the classic children's show, Rainbow. This stark contrast extended to the set where the avidly anti-smoking Fraser was the polar opposite of the chain-smoking Hastings, requiring script adjustments to accommodate his real-life lifestyle. Fraser's career was heavily marked by the struggle of being typecast. Following an early breakthrough role as Prime Minister Anthony Eden, he found himself continually pigeonholed into playing stiff upper-class aristocrats or military men, making it difficult to branch out into diverse roles. Furthermore, because he was notably older than the literary version of his character, Fraser had to endure hours of unpleasant makeup and hair dyeing to artificially de-age himself. He also faced professional disappointment when Hastings was written out of the series after its 8th season in 2001 to align with Christie's later novels, leaving Fraser abruptly separated from his defining television role for over a decade until a brief return for the show's conclusion in 2013. Following his initial departure from the regular cast of Poirot, Fraser reinvented his career utilizing his distinct voice to narrate dozens of Agatha Christie audiobooks and serving as an associate tutor and audition panel member at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA. In his personal life, he has been married to actress Belinda Lang since 1988, and the couple shares a daughter, Lily. As of 2026, at the age of 80, Hugh Fraser remains a respected elder statesman of British drama and literature, enjoying a quiet life in London, while occasionally participating in retrospective reunions that celebrate his enduring legacy in the world of mystery television. Emily Blunt as Lynette Ridgway. Born on February 23, 1983 in London, England, the British native first brought her talents to the stage before taking on the classic Agatha Christie universe. At the age of 21, Blunt's portrayal of the glamorous, wealthy, and ruthless heiress Lynette Ridgway in the Poirot episode Death on the Nile became a notable early career touchstone. Offering a pitch-perfect depiction of upper-class entitlement and doomed vanity, her performance captured the essence of one of Christie's most famous victims. Her commanding presence alongside David Suchet defined a character that remains a memorable and culturally significant part of the beloved mystery series. Despite the character's autocratic, icy, and entitled nature, Emily Blunt is deeply admired for being intensely warm, humorous, and self-deprecating, described by those who know her as the polar opposite of Lynette Ridgway. This contrast was a significant part of her personal journey. Growing up, Blunt suffered from a severe and debilitating stutter that made basic conversation a profound struggle, making her eventual fluency and mastery of accents as an actress nothing short of a personal miracle. Her early career was also marked by the struggle of being typecast, which for a period made it difficult for her to find varied work. Boxed almost exclusively into traditional British period dramas and corseted roles early on, she had to fight hard to prove her modern sensibilities before finally breaking out of the mold with her scene-stealing comedic performance in The Devil Wears Prada. Emily Blunt continued to work in television and film for decades, becoming one of Hollywood's most versatile and highly paid stars. She married fellow actor and director John Krasinski in 2010, and together they have 2 daughters. She took on critically acclaimed starring roles in films like The Young Victoria, Edge of Tomorrow, and Sicario, and teamed up with her husband for the massive horror hit A Quiet Place in 2018. As of 2026, at the age of 43, she is still actively acting and remains a passionate advocate serving on the board of the American Institute for Stuttering to help children and adults overcome the same speech challenges she once faced. Pauline Moran as Miss Lemon. Born on August 26, 1947 in Blackpool, Lancashire, England, the classically trained actress first brought Agatha Christie's famous secretary to life when Poirot premiered in 1989. At the age of 41, Moran's portrayal of Miss Felicity Lemon, the unflappable, fiercely loyal, and impeccably efficient assistant to Hercule Poirot, became a cultural touchstone for mystery fans worldwide. Her deadpan delivery and obsession with perfecting the ultimate filing system defined an iconic television character, brilliantly complementing the fastidious detective and offering viewers a definitive, universally beloved depiction of early 20th century stoicism. Despite playing a character famously described as a prim, unimaginative human machine, Pauline Moran's real-life personality was strikingly bohemian artistic and completely opposite to her on-screen counterpart. In stark contrast to the famously rigid Miss Lemon, Moran spent her younger years playing bass guitar in the 1960s all-female rock band The She Trinity, and she possesses a deep, lifelong passion for the esoteric arts. Professionally, her journey with Poirot eventually brought an unexpected sting. After dedicating over a decade to the role, the show was sold to a new production company that desired a darker film noir tone. Moran and her beloved supporting co-stars were abruptly shown the door and written out of the series. This unceremonious dismissal was a deeply disheartening professional blow, leaving her largely absent from the screen for nearly 10 years as she struggled with the show's new direction before the producers finally invited the classic cast back for the finale. Following her return to Poirot in 2013 to give her character a proper farewell, Moran made one last notable screen appearance in the 2014 period drama A Little Chaos before stepping away from the acting industry entirely. Rather than navigating the typical casting grind of her later years, she shifted her focus entirely to her long-standing secondary career as a professional astrologer, a practice she has successfully maintained since 1987. As of 2026, at the age of 78, she is effectively retired from screen acting and continues to live a quiet, highly private life. Philip Jackson as Chief Inspector Japp. Born on June 18, 1948 in Retford, Nottinghamshire, England, the versatile actor first brought the beloved Scotland Yard detective to life on Agatha Christie's Poirot in 1989. At the age of 40, Jackson's portrayal of the diligent working class and thoroughly British policeman became a cultural touchstone for mystery fans worldwide. Serving as the perfect grounded foil to David Suchet's fastidious Belgian detective, Jackson's dry humor and earnest performance defined a character that remains one of television's most memorable and enduring lawmen. Despite the character's gruff, uncultured, and occasionally bumbling nature, Philip Jackson is highly educated and cerebral, having earned a joint degree in drama and German from the prestigious University of Bristol. This contrast was a significant part of his professional journey, as he frequently found himself boxed into a specific image. His career was marked by the persistent struggle of being typecast. Because of his rugged features and northern roots, it was often difficult for him to find work outside of playing straightforward policemen or working-class authority figures. His tenure on Poirot also brought a professional sting. After being a central pillar of the series for over a decade, Jackson and his fellow supporting cast members were abruptly dropped in 2002 when producers decided to take the show in a darker direction and adapt novels that excluded their characters. A disheartening pause to his journey before he was finally asked back for the show's concluding season in 2013. Philip Jackson continued to work steadily in television, film, and theater for decades, maintaining a very private and balanced personal life. He has been married to actress Sally Baxter for over 40 years, and the couple shares 2 children, George and Amy. Over the years, he took on notable roles in films such as Brassed Off, Little Voice, and My Week with Marilyn, while also finding a prolific second career in radio voicing iconic characters in BBC adaptations of Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. More recently, he earned praise for his role in the acclaimed BBC crime drama Sherwood in 2022. As of 2026, at the age of 77, he remains a respected figure in British acting, continuing to occasionally take on roles while enjoying a quiet and contented family life in England. Peter Capaldi as Claude Langton. Born on April 14, 1958 in Glasgow, Scotland, the talented actor first brought Claude Langton to life in the hit British mystery series Agatha Christie's Poirot, often referred to by its debut year as Poirot 1989. At the age of 32, Capaldi's portrayal of the avant-garde sculptor entangled in a dangerous love triangle became a standout moment for fans of the beloved whodunit series. His nuanced performance in the 1991 episode Wasp's Nest offered a compelling depiction of a tragic figure unknowingly being framed for a premeditated murder, adding a deep layer of dramatic tension and vulnerability to the traditional mystery format that widely captivated audiences. Despite his character's artsy, slightly flamboyant persona and chaotic romantic entanglements, Peter Capaldi has always been known as a remarkably down-to-earth, deeply thoughtful, and gentle individual, serving as a stark contrast to the troubled or aggressive figures he often portrays on screen. Following his appearance on Poirot, Capaldi's career was marked by significant professional hardships, primarily a severe difficulty finding work in the years that followed. Even after winning an Academy Award for a short film he directed in 1995, he struggled to secure consistent acting roles and faced long, demoralizing periods of unemployment. By the early 2000s, his struggle to find work became so dire that he was on the verge of selling his family home and abandoning acting entirely before finally landing his career-reviving role in The Thick of It. Peter Capaldi eventually overcame his mid-career slump, skyrocketing to international fame, not only as a razor-sharp political spin doctor, but also as the 12th Doctor in the iconic sci-fi series Doctor Who. As of 2026, at the age of 67, he remains a highly respected and active figure in the entertainment industry. He continues to take on complex roles recently, starring in critically acclaimed television thrillers such as The Devil's Hour and Criminal Record, alongside blockbuster appearances in films like The Suicide Squad. Throughout his massive career, resurgence, Capaldi has maintained a quiet and stable personal life. He resides in London with his wife, actress and producer Elaine Collins, whom he married the same year his Poirot episode aired, and they share one daughter, Zoë Wanamaker as Ariadne Oliver. Born on May 13, 1949, the New York City native first brought the famous crime writer to life on screen in the 2005 Agatha Christie's Poirot episode, Cards on the Table. At the age of 56, Wanamaker's portrayal of the eccentric, apple-loving, and fiercely intuitive Ariadne Oliver became a beloved cultural staple, offering a prime-time depiction of a brilliant, independent female mind that was both hilarious and significant. For several seasons until the show's conclusion in 2013, her slightly chaotic chemistry with David Suchet's Hercule Poirot offered a perfect foil to the meticulous Belgian detective, defining a character that remains one of mystery television's most iconic figures. Despite the character's bombastic, extroverted nature, famously described by Agatha Christie as a large woman like a battleship, Zoë Wanamaker is physically petite, quietly sensitive, and admitted to feeling completely unlike the eccentric author. This contrast was a significant part of her personal journey. She found navigating the industry challenging while battling low self-esteem over her unconventional looks and the heavy expectations of being the daughter of legendary actor-director Sam Wanamaker, who had actually warned her against acting to spare her from rejection. Her career was also marked by the hidden professional hardship of undiagnosed dyslexia, which made reading and memorizing scripts an exhausting hurdle for years. The end of her other massive television hit, the sitcom My Family, brought its own professional sting. The show was controversially canceled by the BBC in 2011 after 11 seasons, reportedly just to clear out middle-class comedies, a disheartening and abrupt end to a long-running ratings success. Zoë Wanamaker continued to work in television, film, and theater for decades, maintaining her status as one of Britain's most respected actresses. She enchanted a generation as Madame Hooch in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and took on prominent roles in acclaimed dramas like Mr. Selfridge, Girlfriends, and the Netflix fantasy series Shadow and Bone. Off-screen, she has been a passionate advocate for dyslexia awareness and serves as an honorary president of Shakespeare's Globe, championing the historic legacy project her father started. As of 2026, at the age of 76, she remains a prominent and formidable figure in the acting world, recently appearing in the Apple TV Plus thriller series Criminal Record. Widowed in May 2025 after the passing of her beloved husband of 30 years, actor Gone Granger, she has continued to move forward, lending her distinct husky voice and immense talent to the performing arts. James D'Arcy as Derek Kettering. Born on August 24, 1975 in Amersham, Buckinghamshire, England, the versatile actor stepped into the wealthy, treacherous world of Agatha Christie on the beloved 1989 series Poirot. At the age of 30, D'Arcy's portrayal of the honorable yet degenerate Derek Kettering in the 2006 feature-length episode The Mystery of the Blue Train became a standout performance. With his dark, boyish features and an easygoing insouciance, D'Arcy perfectly captured the quintessential Christie suspect, a troubled heir and drunken gambler suspected of his wife's murder. His performance brought a layer of charismatic danger that captivated audiences and added tremendous flair to the legendary detective's television universe. Despite the character's arrogant, cynical, and calculating nature, James D'Arcy is famously self-deprecating, humble, and intensely serious about his craft, described by directors as the polar opposite of an egotistical actor. This stark contrast highlighted his impressive range, though his journey in the industry was not without its hurdles. He frequently struggled with the restrictions of being typecast, often finding himself boxed into playing either overly polite English gentlemen or terrifying psychopathic villains. Additionally, D'Arcy faced significant professional heartbreak with the premature cancellation of several television projects. Most notably, his beloved run as Edwin Jarvis on Marvel's Agent Carter was abruptly canceled by the network after just 2 seasons, a disheartening blow that left a passionate fan base devastated and the story on an unresolved cliffhanger. James D'Arcy continued to build a prolific and diverse career across film and television, stepping behind the camera to write and direct the 2020 feature film Made in Italy. He also secured prominent supporting roles in massive blockbusters, including Christopher Nolan's acclaimed historical epics Dunkirk and Oppenheimer. While he keeps his personal life very private and largely out of the public eye, his enduring talent has kept him consistently employed in a volatile industry. As of 2026, at the age of 50, he remains a highly respected and active figure in Hollywood and British cinema, smoothly transitioning from a charming suspect in a classic whodunit to a fixture in major prestige films. Kelly Reilly as Mary Gerard. Born on July 18, 1977 in Surrey, England, the talented actress brought Mary Gerard to life in the 2003 Sad Cypress episode of the beloved series Agatha Christie's Poirot. At the age of 26, Reilly's portrayal of the gentle, innocent, and ultimately doomed young woman struck a chord with audiences. Her delicate performance perfectly captured the vulnerable essence of a classic Agatha Christie victim, contributing to the enduring cultural legacy and critical acclaim of the long-running mystery television show. Despite playing the meek and passive Mary Gerard early in her career, Kelly Reilly's real-life personality stands in stark contrast to the vulnerable victims or the explosive, acid-tongued characters she would later become famous for. Describing herself as intensely private shy and a quiet homebody, Reilly has admitted that inhabiting deeply tragic or bombastic roles is a massive personal challenge that requires her to hide her true self away. Professionally, she had to fight hard against early typecasting, actively seeking out darker, more complex roles to avoid being pigeonholed as a delicate English rose or a standard comedic sidekick. Her journey in American television also brought significant hardship. After landing the starring role as a brilliant but bipolar neuroscientist in the 2014 ABC medical drama Black Box, she faced the professional sting of having the series abruptly canceled after just 1 season due to declining ratings. Kelly Reilly continued to build a formidable career in both film and television, starring in major motion pictures like Pride and Prejudice, Sherlock Holmes, and Flight, before achieving massive global success as the fierce Beth Dutton on Yellowstone. She married financier Kyle Bauer in 2012, and the couple has maintained a quiet life far removed from the Hollywood glare. As of 2026, at the age of 48, she remains a highly sought-after powerhouse in the entertainment industry, taking on leading roles in upcoming spin-offs and new series, while fiercely guarding her anonymity and peaceful personal life off-camera. Nicholas Farrell as Donald Fraser. Born on August 31, 1955 in Brentwood, Essex, the English actor first brought Donald Fraser to life on the hit mystery series Poirot, which premiered in 1989, specifically starring in the 1992 feature-length episode The ABC Murders. At the age of 36, Farrell's portrayal of the fiercely jealous and psychologically tortured fiancé became a standout performance, offering a prime-time depiction of a complex, emotionally fraught man that was both captivating and significant to the Agatha Christie television canon. For the duration of the gripping mystery, his intense delivery and brooding presence defined a character that remains one of the show's most memorable and suspicious figures. Despite the character's dark, volatile, and deeply suspicious nature, Nicholas Farrell is known as an incredibly affable, mild-mannered, and private individual described by peers as the polar opposite of the tightly wound Donald Fraser. This contrast was a significant part of his personal journey. He found delving into such obsessively jealous and rigid psyches to be a heavy artistic challenge. His career was also marked by the struggle of being typecast as the stiff upper lip Englishman, or the aristocratic military man, which for a period made it difficult for him to break out of period dramas and secure diverse contemporary roles. The transient nature of the British acting industry also meant he frequently had to navigate the professional sting of short-lived stage runs and the relentless hustle for work, a difficult reality for an actor trying to transcend the historical mold set by his early triumphs in acclaimed projects like Chariots of Fire. Nicholas Farrell continued to work steadily in television, film, and theater for decades, marrying Scottish actress Stella Gonnet in 2005, with whom he shares a daughter, Natasha, while remaining a very private individual. He took on distinguished roles in high-profile films, playing Airy Neve in The Iron Lady, 2011, and appearing in Grace of Monaco, 2014, and famously returned to the Agatha Christie universe in 2005, to play Major Knighton in the Poirot episode, The Mystery of the Blue Train. Throughout the 2010s and 2020s, he maintained a respected presence on the British stage and screen, appearing in prominent theater productions like Peter and Alice, and television series such as Bodies. At 70, he is a venerated veteran of the acting world, balancing a quiet family life with his ongoing and celebrated career in the arts. Christopher Eccleston as Frank Carter. Born on February 16, 1964 in Salford, Lancashire, England, the classically trained actor brought his intense energy to television screens before taking on a memorable guest part in the beloved Agatha Christie's Poirot series. At the age of 27, Eccleston's portrayal of the hot-headed, deeply disgruntled clerk Frank Carter in the 1992 episode 1-2 Buckle My Shoe became an early testament to his immense talent. His gripping performance as the volatile murder suspect provided audiences with a captivating depiction of working-class desperation that was both grounded and significant. Within the prestigious mystery series, his raw and unforgettable edge helped elevate an adaptation that remains a cultural touchstone for fans of one of television's most iconic detective shows. Despite the character's abrasive, hostile, and erratic nature, Christopher Eccleston is a deeply principled, empathetic man known for his classic northern warmth, making his real personality the polar opposite of the unsympathetic Frank Carter. This contrast was a significant part of his personal journey. Behind his formidable and tough screen presence, he privately fought hidden battles with severe clinical depression, lifelong anorexia, and body dysmorphia. His career was also marked by the struggle of navigating industry politics, which famously led to a massive professional hardship following his highly successful revival of Doctor Who in 2005. After leaving the hit series after just one season due to severe clashes with executives, Eccleston found himself unofficially blacklisted by the BBC. This fallout made it incredibly difficult for him to find work in the UK, for a period a disheartening professional sting that forced him to rebuild his career from scratch while fighting the industry's tendency to typecast him in purely grim, intense roles. Christopher Eccleston continued to work in television and film for decades, ultimately overcoming his industry exile to star in major blockbuster films like Thor: The Dark World, and acclaimed television series such as HBO's The Leftovers and the BBC drama The A Word. In his personal life, he married Mishka Eccleston, with whom he shares 2 children. Though they divorced in 2015, he frequently credits his love for his kids as the anchor that saved his life during his most severe mental health crises. In 2019, he released his powerful autobiography, I Love the Bones of You, candidly discussing his mental health survival and honoring his late father. He has also embraced his sci-fi legacy, reprising his famous Doctor Who role in acclaimed audio dramas. As of 2026, at the age of 62, he remains a highly respected and active working actor, celebrated not only for his enduring screen legacy, but also as a fearless advocate for mental health awareness. Beatie Edney as Mrs. Hemings. Born on October 23, 1962 in London, England, the talented British actress joined the beloved detective series Agatha Christie's Poirot, often recognized by its 1989 premiere year for the 2011 feature-length episode, The Clocks. At the age of 49, Edney's portrayal of Mrs. Hemings, an eccentric, cat-obsessed neighbor, completely oblivious to the murder next door, added a memorable dash of comedic British eccentricity to the classic whodunit. By inadvertently providing a crucial clue about a laundry van from amidst her chaotic menagerie of felines, her brief but scene-stealing performance resonated with fans and contributed to the rich tapestry of character actors that made the long-running mystery series a global cultural triumph. Despite her character's famously oblivious and scatterbrained nature, Beatie Edney is highly grounded, articulate, and intensely aware of the realities around her. While Mrs. Hemings lived in a bubble of feline distraction, Edney has used her public platform as a passionate ambassador for animal welfare charities like Mayhew, actively advocating for real-world rescue dogs and cats. Professionally, Edney's journey has been marked by the struggles common to women in the entertainment industry. Although she found early cult fame in the 1986 film Highlander, her career experienced periods of stagnation, and she later faced the harsh realities of ageism in television. She has openly discussed the marginalization of middle-aged women in the media, speaking out about feeling overlooked by networks, and has expressed how liberating it was later in her career to take on unglamorous roles where she didn't have to succumb to the industry's strict beauty standards. Beatie Edney continues to enjoy a respected career in television and theater, remaining a beloved figure among fans of British period dramas. She found a massive career resurgence playing the fiery, unkempt servant Prudy Painter in the hit BBC series Poldark, and has more recently appeared in shows like Am I Being Unreasonable?
Yes,
Alongside her acting, she
you noticed
remains
a
a
shift
dedicated
in the last
advocate for
18 months
animal
or so?
rights and frequently shares glimpses of her life with her own rescue dogs. As of 2026, at the age of 63, she is a celebrated veteran of the British screen, continuing to embrace diverse character roles while proudly championing the representation of older women in the entertainment industry. Watching the years unfold for the stars of 1989's Poirot feels like visiting old friends after a lifetime apart. They brought elegance and intrigue into our living rooms, creating a world we still long to revisit. Time may move forward, but those famous little gray cells never truly age. If this trip down memory lane touched your heart, please give this video a like and hit that notification bell to stay connected with the classics.